I kind of begrudgingly respect just the dedication to not getting better at what you do for a living. Just coast through life.
It probably shouldn't even happen.
If you got it, you got to flaunt it, Acid.
You know what? I got a lot of stuff that I don't want to flaunt, so I just keep it to myself.
Jeremy is really big into the used mattresses. Excellent deals.
He has a used mattress store on the side. And we found out that Anthony's friends are all 13-year-old boys. Nice.
Whoever wins gets Acid's ball soap.
Clay, how you doing?
Doing a little more poorly after that terrible, terrible introduction. I was just fine, to be honest with you.
Hello, sci-fi gangsters. This is a show where we talk about science fiction, comic books, and video games. But let's be real, it's really just an excuse to catch up with my friends. I'm Anthony Denard, media scholar and aspiring algorithmic screenplay writer. Because who wouldn't want a rom-com between Siri and Alexa? Am I right? That's really what this wrote. Okay, tonight, folks, we've got a topic that's more divisive than the console wars and more mind-bending than a plot twist in Inception. That's not bad. We're asking, should AI create all forms of entertainment? Yes, ponder this. If Skynet doesn't exterminate us first, that's kind of weird, right? For AI to reference other scary AI. Should we let it compose the next big musical hit, or maybe even create the next blockbuster game? We're diving deep into this complex question, and let me tell you, the answer are unpredictable as a loot box. That's not bad. We're not inviting any fancy experts or techno-profits. Is techno-profits a thing? To tonight's discussion? Nope. It's just us, the real sci-fi gangsters, hashing it out, uncensored and unscripted. Because when it comes to shaping the future of entertainment, it's not just the eggheads who have a say. It's all of us. So grab your go-to gaming snack, get comfy, and let's get this electrifying conversation rolling. You know what? It's not bad. It's not bad. So that was created by AI, apparently. Acid, thank you for contributing that intro. Some of it was okay. You know what's kind of funny about it is when I was reading it, I was like, this sounds like Acid. This sounds like Acid wrote this.
Nope.
But
I did not. Good. The only thing I gave it was your typical intro, the Hello Sci-Fi Gangsters. This is the show. I gave it that, and then I gave it the topic, and then it took off with everything else. So.
Not bad. I will say that. Not bad at all. So that was our intro. That's the topic for today. We're going to talk about AI. Should AI be a part of entertainment? That sort of thing. But we have a great panel of guests here today. So let's go ahead and introduce. First of all, I'll start off with Noah. Noah, how you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Fantastic. Always good to have you here. Then we have Carrie. Carrie, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
You know, Carrie, as a writer, Carrie, I know you're a poem writer. I figured this would be the person to have on the show, right? To have a conversation about, AI, what that means for entertainment, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's been very divisive, like you said, but it's a lot of thoughts going through my head right now. Maybe we'll get to all of them. Maybe.
Of course, the producer of the show, we have Acidtrain. Acid, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm going to have AI take over my job, and I'm going to still get paid. It's going to be awesome. And
I'm a little too scared. Obviously, I'm an academic. I'm a writer, so I'm a little scared to use AI. I haven't really dived into it. The only thing I've used is Grammarly, which, this is not an advertisement. They're not a sponsor. But I do use Grammarly a lot. Especially when it's the final edit. After I've already written everything, I put it on Grammarly, and it kind of gives me some suggestions. Typically, because I often write in passive voice, so I need Grammarly to let me know, hey, too many passive voices there. But so that is our topic for today. We're talking about AI. But first, let's go ahead and catch up a little bit. It's been a while since I've spoken with each one of you. We'll go ahead and start with Noah. Noah, what's new with you?
Not much, just getting back into magic. So I've been performing magic.
Magic or Magic the Gathering?
No, like magic.
Like bippity boppity boo magic.
Something like that. So, not as adorable as that, but yeah, so I've been getting back into that. I've done a few like open mics with my magic, and it seems to be a hit. So
Oh,
we'll
very
just
cool.
So are you gonna like suddenly disappear or turn into a animal of some kind during the show?
yeah, hold on, I'll do it right now. Hobbs, come here.
Okay, there we go. Grab the cat.
Let me switch out with my dog.
Now, when you're doing the, obviously, no, I remember you used to do stand up all the time. Are you making jokes when you do it too, or is it pure magic?
Yeah, no, it's like a mix of like comedy and magic. So
Very
it's
cool.
different. It's definitely something that people aren't doing here. So, like literally the only magician at any of these like small time you know, comedy gigs. So it's pretty cool.
Excellent. Of course, the joke that I used to make when Chris Baldwin, Acid. Do you remember Chris Baldwin?
I do
At
remember
all,
Chris
maybe?
Baldwin. Yeah.
When we used to do, when I used to do host open mics, I had a magician who I just liked having him on the show to kind of mix up things. And the joke that I always used to make is that he always makes his friends disappear.
Yep.
Right?
I
That was the
remember
joke. It always got a laugh. It was always a good time. But yeah, excellent. So maybe you'll offer us I've been seeing some of your magic tricks on Instagram, that sort of thing. Enjoying that. So maybe we'll see something tonight. I don't know. This is pretty exciting.
Yeah, you want me to do a really quick one real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go. Let's see some
Okay.
magic. Let's go.
So this is just gonna be like a card trick.
Okay, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So, all right, so I'm gonna hold these cards up so you can see them the whole time. But Anthony, why don't you just name a single card? I've actually, before this show started, I turned a card over in this deck. So name one single card and let's just see if I got it right.
Okay, 2 of clubs.
2 of clubs. Let me make sure that it's the right way. I want to make sure it's going the right way. All right.
She was close.
So-
It's the 3 of clubs.
There's 3 of clubs. Okay.
Very close. All right. So the 2 of clubs should be
Okay.
somewhere in here, right? There should
Okay.
be like, well, hold on, wait. Here's a card.
Okay. All right. All right.
Oh,
Wow, that's pretty good.
very good.
Hey,
Very nice.
it's not
That
as
is pretty good.
it's not as impressive over. I was trying to think of one that I could do over Zoom.
That's
but-
pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive.
But
Considering
is that magic or AI?
Oh,
Yeah, ooh,
no.
sure. It's an AI
That
deck
is-
of cards.
that was a random card that I came up in my mind. It's kind of crazy that you did that. Very good. Excellent. Pretty excited there. What about Carrie? What's new with you?
Not a whole lot. Going back to grad school, so I'm in class now.
Now, when you say grad school, are you in your PhD program or are you still in the master's?
I did another master's because I missed the deadline for the PhD because I'm so fast. But I think I'm going to go for the PhD. If I don't do it now, it's not going to happen.
Okay.
So that'll be a next semester question. But other than that, I released a book like a couple weeks ago.
There you go.
So there's that.
Well, congratulations. What's the name of the book? Go ahead and plug it.
It is called Depths. It's a collection of poems. I have it here. Shameless plug.
There you go.
Do it.
Oh, there it is. Very nice.
There it is.
Very good. Excellent. Do you mind sharing one? Do you have a short one that you mind sharing?
A short one. Let's see
Because
if I have
if we're
a
doing
short-
magic, we might as well just do poetry as well.
I'm telling you. Let's do it.
Just
This is-
run the gamut.
This is all creative. This is all human creativity, and it's about to be
Yeah.
bombarded with AI creativity. That's what's about
Yeah,
to
it's gonna
happen.
take over this. That'd be funny if like Carrie's like typing in like ChatGPT right now. Need a poem.
Give me a poem now.
Need a poem immediately.
Let's do. Oh, no, I'm not reading that one.
Oh,
Okay, I'll read this one. Yeah.
Okay.
A child might watch. It's called Kindred Fighters. It's been so long. I've been fighting this war. I can't go on. My body is sore, surrounded by guilt, dying alone, inevitably seeing the destruction I've sown. But way in the distance, more fighters I see, now bound together with longing to be free.
Very good. Excellent. I
Very
feel like we
nice.
should be snapping.
Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
There we go.
Excellent. Very good. So we got a little bit,
Thank you.
a little bit of creativity from Carrie, a little bit of creativity from Noah there, some magic, some poems. We got it all on this show today.
Yeah.
Ass is about to sing a ballad.
Actually, no. You're going to be singing the song about margaritas here shortly.
Oh, once again, give me one margarita. Don't ask me what happens when you give me 2 margaritas. Anyway, so Ass, what's new with you, bud?
Oh, just the old 9 to 5, 8 to 5, 7 to 5, whatever you want to call it, the grind. And no grad school for me, no PhDs for me, just lots of headaches and more bus drivers not wanting to work. So, it's just how it rolls. So soon all the bus routes will be grounded. You won't have to worry about your buses anymore. You'll have to take your own kids to school. Yeah.
As someone who has a kid that goes that's in Auburn,
that rides the bus,
I do not want to have to do that.
Yeah.
Put him on the bus. I do have a quick follow-up question. The wheels on the bus, they still go round and round? Is that still
only if the driver shows up?
Okay, very good.
Only if
the driver says move on back.
The driver says cough cough, I have COVID and I'm going to be out for 10 days.
Well,
that's what the drivers say now.
Excellent. All right. Well, it's good to see you, Ass. It's good to hear from you. Of course, we'll go ahead and review what's new with me. So I'm still sort of I got the post-con depression, right? Dragon Con. I'm still kind of getting over that a little bit. I think this happened last year as well, where I start cycling through the cosplay that I'm going to do next year. I'm feverishly thinking of the different things that I'm going to do. So I think Wolverine is one that I'm sort of leaning towards, but I want to do something kind of creative with Wolverine. Obviously, I had the Venom Stormtrooper cosplay. That was a huge hit at Dragon Con. Plenty of photo requests. We talked about that last episode on our Dragon Con review. So that was a whole lot of fun. But other important news, Friday, I defend my dissertation, which means Friday I could be a doctor. So kind of a crazy, after 5 years of this grind in this PhD program, it's such a long process. Let's hope, cross our fingers, on Friday you could be talking to Dr. Dinar. So it's very exciting.
Double D.
Here's the thing. I don't want you to call me Double D because I knew a Double D.
Did you?
I worked with Double D and I did not like Double D.
Oh.
So
what if we call you PH Double D?
PH Double D? That might work. How about
How about 3 margaritas?
That's for sure, right. I was gonna say Daddy D. I don't know why.
Oh God.
Daddy D.
So Dr. Anthony Dinar would be Dad. So
That's true. It would
There
be.
you go.
call you Daddy.
Dad works it too because obviously my kids call me Dad. My wife calls me Daddy. What are we talking? What are we doing? What are we doing right now?
What kind
What's
of
happening?
podcast am I on right now?
Yeah, he's still reading from the AI script. So.
I am. That's what
it
that's
is.
what's happening. See
That's it.
the wheels on the bus joke. That wasn't me. That was
It was,
AI.
it was all AI.
That's why it was so bad. It was with the AI. All right, so that's our topic for today. We're talking about AI. Should it exist? Will it exist? I mean, should it exist in entertainment? Should that sort of thing. We'll go ahead and start off with how about Noah? What do you think, Noah? We'll start off with you.
So I don't super mind AI. It doesn't really affect me. Well, so I am a software developer, but it hasn't gotten to where it affects me very much. And as far as the entertainment goes, as an entertainer, I guess I could use AI to write jokes and stuff, but definitely couldn't use AI to do magic tricks or anything like that. So it's all physical. So I don't know, AI, I haven't really been affected by it in a negative way. I will say though that there are some photos, like AI is actually helping people like catfish a lot better. You know, you used to be able to just like right click and like reverse image search someone, and now they just like pull an image out of thin air, and there's no way. Like I don't know. So I don't know, but I don't super mind it. I think it's kind of cool.
So Noah, you're saying your catfishing business has been booming since AI came
It
in.
has, you know, I can't even lie. Like I started an OnlyFans for feet, but they're not my feet.
That's right.
Okay, just yeah,
Random feet.
that works.
I
That's
take
fantastic.
requests like very rapidly. They're just pumping them out.
Very good. Carrie, what do you think as an author? You're a published author. What do you think of AI?
Well, it depends if I have to share authorship with the AI. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like for some things, like I'm not bothered by it, like Noah. But then I think like the AI generated like characters in movies, I think that might be crossing a line. I don't know where I stand on that. Maybe we'll find out. But yeah, like it doesn't really bother me. But if it's gonna take the place of someone who already has a job and then they're out of a job now, that might be a problem.
I think that's the major concern, right? That's why the writer's strike is going on right now.
Right.
The big thing is the concern with AI, because if you think about it, like if a large studio can just use AI to create scripts or to write copy or whatever, no need to hire actors or no need to hire writers, right? I mean, it's just another job that could be disappearing. I do not see writers allowing this to happen, right? So
Yeah, no.
obviously that has been one of the biggest concerns with the writer's strike, and I think that from what I understand from everything that all the discourse that I've been sort of listening to when it comes to the writer's strike, it seems like that's the one where they're like, yeah, we're not going to budge on this. So we AI will not be a part of any sort of like screenwriting process. And I think AI, in terms of like the creative aspect of AI, I think it will get banned in terms of like there will be a policy with the union that says that studios cannot use AI. And so I think that's going forward. I think it makes a lot of sense, because in all actuality, if AI becomes good enough, there's no need. Being a writer is just not going to be a job anymore. Like this, you can make the argument that humans, they're always going to be more creative than AI, but I don't know. So I definitely foresee, particularly when it comes to the entertainment industry, and perhaps even in other industries as well, I think AI is going to be limited just by like policy, and workers are going to fight for that to make sure it will not be used, because it makes sense. Because if no one fights for it, then there's not going to be any jobs left for anybody.
It's going to cause a divide. Like the people at the top, the rich, are just going to get even richer off of AI, and like they won't have anyone to pay. Like it's just a win-win for the people at the top. But
Well, certainly, yeah, definitely. Acid, your thoughts?
I'm all for it. I hope it takes over the world. I want to be. No, I think I would be interested to see how far AI could go, especially in entertainment, because as Hollywood has shown us, they have run out of ideas. They're just remaking everything. So I'm kind of curious to see, if you let AI just kind of run with it, would AI eventually just run out of ideas, and would it start making things over again in a new way? Like, to this point, I'm bored and I've got nothing to watch. I mean, even the video game industry is the same way. It's like, ooh, let's make this game that we did 20 years ago and make it look prettier. That's all they're really doing. So I'm kind of curious to see what the AI entertainment generation could be.
So I think it's important to bring up that the reason why, everyone always likes to make the argument that Hollywood's running out of ideas. And as a media scholar, my retort to that is it's because that's what people want. Like people want to see the same stuff over and over again. Obviously, sort of like economics comes into a play too, because if you experiment and it goes wrong, you lose way too much money. So it's always smarter to have like the bottom line, the safe bets. We know people like comic book movies, or we know that people like action movies or Tom Cruise. So they kind of go with that. So it's the same movie over and over again. But audiences also like that. They don't want their favorite intellectual property to die.
Well, when I say that, this is what I kind of mean by it. So, like, you brought up Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, like, like I don't mind like Mission Impossible 1 and 2 and 3, like in the series, like that. I'm totally fine with all that because it's familiar. It's a different storyline, but it's the same kind of, it's the same kind of big bad and the same kind of tech and, this kind of stuff. It's when you remake the Hulk movie 6 times and remake the Spider-Man origin 6 times and remake Superman 6 times. Like, I don't want to see the same story with different people. Like, I don't like,
well, that even supports my argument.
Once was enough, you can keep going with it. Like, okay, let's progress on this story. Like, we already know the origin story. We already know it.
Right.
So why are we going back to this? Like, let's move forward.
Kind of what's happened. Every time Spider-Man gets rebooted, we don't see the same origin story every time. It's a different variation.
But as a whole, it's the same. But as the main story, it's the same story.
Because people want this Spider-Man. Like, they don't want a different Spider-Man. They want Spider-Man because our myths can't die. We don't want them to die, right? I talk about this in my comic book studies class, right? We talk about the myth of Superman, how Superman can't die, right? He has to constantly be reborn because his story is so integral to our national identity. We can't exist without a Superman because it's so important. It's sort of like Superman, Spider-Man, Batman. They're on the same par as Sherlock Holmes or other sort of historical or mythical characters, right? Hercules, like they don't die because we can't let them die because we love them so much, or because they're just part of who we are as a people. Like, Spider-Man's not going to go away because it's not like we're going to say, you know what, we've seen Spider-Man, we've seen all the movies. Let's just take a break from Spider-Man for a little bit. I don't see that happening because Spider-Man, everyone loves Spider-Man, and there's always going to be a new generation that grows up that wants to see their Spider-Man. Same thing with many other intellectual property. And of course, if an intellectual property is profitable, they're not going to just let it go. They're going to try to reboot it. Obviously, they'll try different things like the Ninja Turtles. They'll try a live action, then they'll try an animation, and then Spider-Man, they'll have an animation and then a live action. But for the most part, it's just because they know that people don't want these things to die. That's why they're constantly rebooted all the time.
It's fair, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Like, I haven't seen any of the remake movies that Disney's done, like the live actions. Like, I just don't care. I've seen the movie.
I'll tell you who has. My kids.
But is that okay? Now, did they see that one first, or did they see the original first?
Some of them they've seen the original first. Some of them they have not.
Because I think order matters too. Especially if you're a young child. Like like when I was a kid, the original Lion King or the original Little Mermaid or whatever. Now I haven't seen the new Aladdin. I haven't seen the remake of the Lion King or Little Mermaid.
I have
that stuff.
Because of the kids.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting idea. Like, if there's a way to input all the Spider-Mans or like all the movies in a series into AI and then have it regurgitate something out of that, that might be interesting to see.
Yep.
I think for me, it's going to come down to like our use of it. Because even all of our media, it's like we talk about AI like it's going to destroy us. So I think I'm now leaning more towards there's going to be like a lot of limited stuff that we can do with it.
I honestly think that workers in particular fields are going to fight it. Like they're going to for their own, self-interest, they're going to fight it because, if they don't fight it now, it will eventually take over their jobs.
Well,
Right.
I mean, like you said, it's already starting to. I mean, think about this. They've already got self-driving cars, self-driving Ubers or self-driving taxis or whatever. Like it's just a matter of time before it gets larger, like school buses or public transportation or airplanes even, they won't be flown by humans. There might be somebody there like overseeing the whole thing, like, oh, making sure everything's running right. But that person won't fly anything. It's like, hey, I need to go to Denver. Click, click, boom. All right, guys, we're heading to Denver, and it just does its thing.
I think the entertainment unions have a little more power than like the semi truck unions sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I definitely AI will eventually take over most jobs eventually. So
And I mean, I hate to say it, but I would love to see AI take over the school bus industry because you wouldn't have any. I mean, think about it. Your kids would always have a ride. There would never be, the bus would never be late. The bus would always be on time. You could have a human on the bus, like actually concentrating on the well-being of the kids while the machine drives itself. And so now, less fights break out, less things, happen on the bus that are not supposed to happen. I mean, it's just because now you have an adult there instead of, one guy just going, hey, sit down back there, while he's trying to, dodge cars and stuff, trying to get to where he needs to go.
And here's another thing. I mean, so I could definitely see the positives of AI as well in terms of if AI is driving all the cars can go faster.
Yeah.
Because if AI controls all the cars, then speed limit doesn't matter. Like they can go as fast as you want. So your cars could go 300 miles an hour if the computers are controlling them because you're not worried about human error anymore.
Yeah.
So in other words, you could live 5 hours like normal time away from from a particular location and get there in 30 minutes because you're traveling 300, 400 miles an hour.
Yeah, you could commute to Oregon from here in 45 minutes.
All you have to do, you get up in the morning, you read your newspaper, you sit down, and you do your work as the car is driving to Oregon.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I could definitely see the positives of AI as
Grab
well.
your
No, yes, let me say.
Starbucks on the way.
It just
That's
sounds
true.
terrifying, all of it.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, being in a vehicle going 300 miles per hour
Sign me up.
sounds terrifying.
I think eventually, I mean, being in a vehicle going 60 miles an hour is really like, if you think about it, is terrifying. We're so used to it. But as a former firefighter, I've seen what happens when people get in wrecks at 60 miles an hour.
Yep.
Like it's not great,
Yeah.
especially if you're not wearing a seatbelt.
At least at 300 miles an hour, you'd never know if you were in a wreck or not.
That's true. and there's it's less likely there's going to be a wreck, right? Because wrecks happen because of human error.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's all controlled by AI, of course, AI could mess up, blah, 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 but there's less likely for that to happen.
Yeah, the variables go down because now the driver isn't tired or fatigued or drunk or, whatever the case may be. Oh, my eye's itching. Hang on, let me scratch my eye while I'm driving down the road. None of that going on.
If all the cars are networked together, then they're constantly like in relationship to each other to make sure that a wreck won't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, I think that might be a problem too, because then you have the T-Mobile cars, and then the T-Mobile network, if you have T-Mobile, doesn't really work. So you're going to have to get on the Verizon car plan, and that might be a whole thing as well. And then, AT&T, if you're in Georgia, I just give it up. It's no.
Very good.
It'll be all Starlink. It's okay. Don't worry.
Very
Did you
good.
say you were a firefighter?
Oh yeah. So
did I miss? I thought I missed something.
I was a firefighter for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, for 5 years. My wife is still a firefighter. She's been a firefighter for 15 years. But yeah. little backstory. My crazy back. Before that, I was a radio DJ. Acid, you remember this, right?
Oh yeah, I was there with you.
Very good. So I was.
That
So
explains the voice.
I did Weagle for a while. So
Yep.
the college radio with Acid. That's how we met.
It is.
We did college radio together.
I
Right, I
remember
was-
that.
What was
Like,
that?
I remember that. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's like when I first met you.
Yes, because I did radio for a while. Then I did stand up while I was doing radio for a while. That's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to do stand up. So I did that for about 3 years. Got fired because of the recession. Do you remember the recession in 2008? But
Yeah.
got fired. I went to another radio station and they wanted me to start all over again. And I was like, you know what? And I probably could have rose through the ranks and got my own show again. But I decided to become a firefighter because I wanted to go back to school at that time. But then once I got the firefighter job, I decided not to go back to school. Did that for about 5 years. And then was like, you know what? I kind of want to go back to school. So I got my master's and then got my PhD. And now we're here.
And now he makes cosplay.
And now I make cosplay. Right, full circle.
That's it.
Excellent.
So what are you
What
going
else,
to do?
Noah? What else do you?
Oh no, go ahead.
Wait, what?
Got anything else to say, Noah?
About AI?
Or anything at all?
No, I'm just I think like Acid, I'm super excited to kind of see where it goes. I don't want anyone to like lose jobs or anything, but I think that, you know, especially if AI could help these amateur comedians be funnier.
Oh.
Hold on. I'm actually interested. I want to hear this. All right. So as someone
Okay,
who
go
it's
ahead.
been a long time since I've done an open mic, like when you go to these open mics, like are some of them funny, some of them not funny, most of them not funny? How's it going?
Right now, most of them are funny right now.
Okay.
But you know, like it's the same jokes over and over again. So like
Okay.
you hear them, but they're all funny, but they're just like the same ones we've been hearing. But the new stuff, like the new guys, obviously, like they're the ones that really, really want to do it that haven't been doing it very long. They're not very good, but there's potential. But sometimes it can be a little insufferable sitting through it.
Maybe one of these days.
Do it.
Maybe it's one. Yeah, well, I was gonna say maybe it's one of these days I'll go back and try an open mic one time. You know, what I miss about stand up is I get it from my classroom. Like I'm very silly in my classroom. I do the question of the day, which is basically just me doing crowd work for 15 minutes, which is a whole lot of fun. The students have a great time. We're goofing around for about 15 minutes, and then I get to my lesson. Right, so I kind of get what I needed to get out of stand up in my classroom. Although I do sort of miss. I don't miss staying up late. I will tell you that. I definitely.
No, it's awful. And like, yeah, it's so bad. And they always start late. And then like, there's like 30 comedians, and it's like, oh, and you don't want to like leave because it's rude. I feel like
Yeah.
I hate that. Like, if I don't have to leave, I won't. But you don't want to leave, and then it's like, oh my God, I have to be up early the next day. And yeah, I don't miss that at all. If I were a teacher, Anthony, I would be like so sad. You have like an audience that has to be there. They can't go anywhere. They I don't know. That would be like a dream.
I always wonder because like I goof around, look, and I get a lot of laughs during the question of the day, but I always think to myself, am I getting a lot of laughs just because it's the classroom setting and it's just weird that a teacher is doing this in the classroom and that's what makes it funny? Or is what I'm saying actually funny? And that's so I'm like,
I think that like comedians actually take advantage of that all the time. Like you're, like being in, just because you're in a different type of environment, you're like making use of it. I don't know. I think what's funny is funny. They're laughing, it's funny. It's not because it's in a classroom and like it's odd. I mean, maybe it is odd, but like that's what's funny about it, Oh.
And of course, I can't tell you a joke that I've said in class because that's not how crowd work works. Crowd work is always about like the moment, right? You saying something funny in the moment in that particular setting. So I couldn't say. So like every once in a while, I'll like say something like, that was pretty good. Like, because I typically say the same jokes over and over again, you know, because I'll like a question of the day will be something like, what's your favorite musical artist? And I have my bits. If someone says Drake, I say, you know, he started from the bottom, right? Like just something stupid like that, right? And everyone's like, wait, what? And then they kind of get it, but just the stupid stuff like that. But every once in a while, I'll come up with something new, and it gets a laugh. I'm like, oh, I gotta think about that. I gotta save that for next time.
Yeah, like, I should write that down.
But yeah, very good, excellent. Carrie, what are your thoughts on stand-up? You ever done it before?
Never done it before. I have a lot of favorite stand-up comics that I listen to on Spotify because I'm getting into like the albums. Remember when comedians did albums?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that's fun. I wonder if you could do like a like old material, like and see what the what AI thinks of your old material.
It just says no. Disrespect.
Don't do it.
Please don't.
Just like you put it in there. And it's,
I had a shake weight bit. That's how bad mine. I had a shake weight bit, and it did well. It did well. The shake weight bit did well. But
do it right now. Do it for us.
where?
I said it was like basically I said there's no way to use a shake weight where it wasn't inappropriate. Like so I was like right here. Let's say if it's right here, and then like I would do this, and I would kind of go behind my back and do that. Cause like every way you do a shake weight, it seems inappropriate. It was just stupid.
Yeah, you could put your old jokes into ChatGPT and be like, you know, make this, you know, topical or whatever. Like rewrite this for 2023.
I've actually written some stuff down over the years. Like I have a doc of like jokes that I've written down where I'm like, if I ever try stand up again, I might try this kind of stuff. But of course, I'm not going to tell you the jokes now because it doesn't work unless I'm because my comedy is not like I'm not like Anthony Jeselnik where I have like a boom boom kind of a joke. It's like I need the setup. I need the audience to be able to tell the joke. So, but yeah, very good. There's a place called No Shame in Columbus, Georgia, which used to be my favorite place to try out new jokes. No Shame. It was basically you could do whatever you wanted as long as it was original content. Everybody had 5 minutes, so you'd go there if you wanted to perform. You had to sign up for it. It'd be the first thing. You had to be there first thing and sign up for it, and you got a 5-minute slot. And you could do whatever you wanted. Once again, so there are people that would do like sing songs, read poems, like perform music. And of course, there's a bunch of us who would do stand up. But it was a great place because it was encouraging. Like people were very positive, but they weren't condescending either. So you knew if a joke went, like if people laughed, you're like, okay, then this joke works. If they didn't laugh, you know, they would kind of be positive about not laughing, but you knew they didn't laugh. So you're like, okay, well the joke doesn't work, right? So yeah, it was a good place. If I ever did stand up again, I would probably go back to No Shame and try that there.
Where is that?
It's Columbus, Georgia. During the pandemic they stopped doing it. I think they got it back again. I don't. But yeah, very good. Acid, your thoughts?
Well, while you're talking about the shake weight, I went ahead and typed in Chat GPT to make a current shake weight joke. And would you like to hear what it came up with?
Okay, let's do it. All right, go ahead.
Okay, let's see if I can deliver this. Okay.
Okay.
You ever see those shake weight commercials? You know, the exercise gadget that promise you to tone your arms with a simple shaking motion. It's the only product that makes you look like you're passionately trying to convince someone in sign language while also getting in a workout. They say it tones your muscles, but let's be honest. The only thing that it's really exercising is your ability to keep a straight face while using it. Imagine bringing that thing to the gym. You're there shaking away and everyone else is staring at you like you've discovered a new form of interpretive dance. Look at Bob over there. Either he's really into his workout or he's trying to summon a genie.
Okay, well
There you go. That's what it's come up with. Yeah.
I'm waiting for the punchline, but
And at the end, Chat GPT gives you like some encouragement. So it says, "Hope that brings a smile to your face."
oh, very good, excellent.
So there you go.
You should. I want to see you go on stage and just tell that joke exactly the way you did. It
Just
actually made me
verbatim.
want to buy a shake weight.
Oh, really? Oh, good. There you go.
Fantastic.
That'll be my new gig. I'll just stand up on stage and talk about commercials, shake weight commercials.
We
There's,
should
there's a market for that somewhere.
There is somewhere.
There is.
Yeah.
we should all go. We should all go to No Shame together. Carrie, you're invited to read a poem.
There you go. Poems,
back to-
magic, stand up, margarita songs. Let's go.
Let's do it.
There we go.
You could drink margaritas there. Do they have drinks there?
They have drinks. You can buy drinks. yeah,
There
most
you go.
You have margaritas.
No margaritas.
But to bring your own.
I'm not going.
There's a Mexican
You're
restaurant
out.
right next door.
Nah, she's
She's like, I'm out.
If I don't get to see you guys schlossed on like 3 margaritas apiece, I'm not going.
okay, makes sense.
That's
To
what,
me.
I want to see what happens.
You don't want to see what happens after one.
Very good. I think that's all we have to say about AI. A very in-depth conversation. Any comments in the YouTube comment section?
Well,
I'm laughing because I know there's none.
There's not any, but that's okay. I did post it out there on. Okay, so what do you want to call it, Twitter, or do you want to call it X?
I guess we call it X.
I mean, might as well. They changed it.
If Elon Musk is going to be charging it for us, it's going to be a platform I'm no longer on.
Oh man, look out! That's
But
okay.
that's
You don't
the
want
new
your.
thing.
You're saying you don't want your blue check mark. Is that what you're saying?
No, apparently everyone's going to be charged for X now. That's the rumor.
I missed that. I don't know.
That's the rumor that
That's
he's
so
going to have.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like he doesn't want it to exist.
I will say.
Yeah.
I will say one more thing about AI that I just thought about. So I think
Go ahead.
I think AI, especially in the profession that I'm in, could be very helpful. A very helpful scare tactic to push workers, kind of give them that sense. I don't want to like scare them to death, but like give them that sense of fear. Like if I don't go to work, they're going to replace me with this thing that doesn't cost them any money. Like I should probably show up to work the 182 days that I need to, and be off my 183 days that they let me be off and still pay me. Like I should go to work. I should not call in for no reason. You know?
Apparently, Acid has moved to
saying.
the dark side. Acid's manager has mindset.
Yeah, Noah was talking about the
Those
rich
damn
get
workers.
richer. I'm not at the top, but I'm moving my way up there. So all the people at the bottom is like, y'all need to show up to work,
Damn,
or
workers need to be appreciated.
AI is going
Have
to
you
take your stuff.
Have you seen that viral video of that like CEO guy, and he's like basically saying something to the extent of like, we need to make workers fear for their jobs again, because like he was like going on about nowadays workers think that that we're lucky to have them. We need to make them think that they're lucky to have a job. I'm like, okay, dude, don't say this out loud. Like,
Yeah.
why are you saying this out loud? Don't say that. But anyway, it was kind of funny where it was like, wow, you're getting recorded, right? You probably shouldn't be saying stuff like this.
Oh, yeah.
That's always been my pet peeve. I've always hated it because I've had plenty of jobs where my manager or my boss has said something to the extent of, you're lucky to have this job. That's probably the worst possible thing
Don't ever say
that you
something
can say
like
to
that.
an employee. No,
Oh, yeah.
like I'm not lucky to have, you're lucky that I'm working for you. Right. So that's the worst possible. And I've had many bosses say that to me point
Really?
blank
Oh wow.
when I was working for the radio. The
Oh, I
manager
can-
of the radio
I
station
can
said,
see that.
you're lucky to have this job. Right. Which I'm like, okay. And then when I was a firefighter, that was said a lot. Like the
Really?
chief would say, yeah,
You
you're
think-
lucky to have this. This is a great job. You're lucky to have this job. I'm like, don't say that, man. That's messed up.
My only headache is that. Okay, so I'm going to go off on a little rant here. I know we've talked about AI, and now we're on to jobs, right?
There you go. But fantastic.
Yeah, why not, right? So a bus driver's job is fairly simple. You come to work, because I was one. I did the job. I did the job for 3 years, so I know. I've been on that side. You come in. You do your driving. You manage a little bus load of kids. I mean, it's a lot of kids, and sometimes they get rowdy, but they're only on the bus for 30 minutes or so. They're not on there long. You get them to school. You do the same thing in the afternoon. You get them home. A bus driver works 180 days a year. Their school is 180 days, or 182, because they have 2 days of meetings before school. They are off 183 days. So they, out of an entire year, they do not have to work 183 days. So it doesn't just bother me. It bothers parents. It bothers schools when they don't show up and we're not running buses, and then this guy gets cussed at by parents and yelled at by administration because, hey, how come the bus didn't run today? Like, well, tell the driver to show up. Like, I got no drivers. What do you want me to do? So I can't help it. I mean, I can go drive one, but that doesn't save the other 6 that aren't running. So what do you want me to do? So it's just, I don't think that a lot of drivers and the whole profession, like not just here, but everywhere across the country, understand how many people it impacts. And it really impacts the kids, because a lot of the times when we can't run a bus, those kids don't go to school. They have no way to go to school. They have no transportation. They might be in low income areas, or their parents have already gone to work an hour away, and they can't just, turn around and go, oh, well, gotta go take Johnny to school. Their job's not going to let them do that. And then their job is in jeopardy, because they're constantly have to go back and forth because they can't rely on transportation. So I don't think some people will just realize how important it is. And that's a lot. That's like that with a lot of jobs, it just baffles me, because it's so simple. It's so easy. Like, it's not a hard job to do. It's hard to get there, but once you're there, it's so easy.
Fair enough. I definitely can understand your frustration.
So as soon as you get your PhD, come apply. There you go. We accept,
very good.
We accept all PhDs.
Hey,
yeah.
Why not? It seems like a good job.
That's right.
Well, fantastic. All right, that seems like that's all we're going to be talking about today. It's good to have Noah and Carrie, and of course Acid, on the show today. Thank you so much for coming on.
It's fun.
You can always check us. Yeah, you always check us out. SciFiGangsters.com, our podcast, YouTube channel. Check that out as well. But that's it for today. Goodbye.